part 2 of the preview show, the last 4 races at Royal Randwick. Love the Royal Randwick, Mark.
Please don't say that.
No, I know. I don't. As soon as it came out, it was too late, Mark. I committed to it. Mark, speaking about committed, you've had a committed week with provincials.
I've had a very committed week. Yeah, Warwick Farm, Hawkesbury leading into Wyong today, and Randwick tomorrow, which I quite like the look of. I think that I'm offering a counterpoint to what's already on offer in the way of prices. So you should check out what I've got to do. And don't forget Newcastle tomorrow, which I think promises to be a shade more bountiful.
Shade more bountiful?
Well, simply because we've obviously got a few starting out races tomorrow at Randwick that are problematic because of that. Mm-hmm. Whereas Newcastle will be, it's up and running stuff.
Juicier. All right, that's Mark's stuff, and you can get that through I'm clicking through, and we're going to have a new product for you. I would think next week, which we'll talk about next week.
That's right. Exciting times.
There you go. The Wallabies Cup is race 5, and Forget and Marty are equal favourites, $4.60. Dan Jure opened up, what, about $3.80 or something like that, Aaron, did it, or thereabouts?
Yeah.
Seemed very, very short, and it quickly got out to about the $5.50 mark. And he's with Hollywood bound around about that price.
All those early prices are just so irrelevant.
Yeah, there was, but it didn't take long to correct that.
Yeah.
All right, Mark, what are we saying pace-wise? Does Marty just jump lead in control?
Well, moth to flame, isn't it? It's like
he's the moth to flame. Yes.
Like honestly, stupidly, last week she was she was back in distance in amongst horses that were going to lead her. Now she's back up to a mile, and there's really nothing that should annoy her. I mean, I have Orion Love sitting second, and she's drawn underneath Marty, and he's on her way to a distance. I suppose Forget is not very far away.
Up to 1,600 metres on a very slow pace.
Richard the First shouldn't be too far away. And then you're into the Hollywood Bounds. Darcy Hollywood Bound, of course, can be ridden forward. I mean, we saw him ridden forward in a mile race here in May. And it's got a man to go forward on. Yep. So
fit, why not?
But I mean, on the face of it, Marty runs her own race.
Mm-hmm. Vijay Parr doing his best. Moth to flame, Mark. Okay, Marty has been almost the most spoken about horse in the history of the Punter Show. We keep mentioning it.
Just need a new batch of horses.
Yeah,
please.
I know. It's just going to keep being spoken about. She just, as you said, looks to control. She's now 4th up with the trial. She finally trimmed down on Saturday. Aaron was still with plenty of improvement, but had
took
made
half a run off.
and the backup should be perfect for her up to the mile. She should be right there. Combine that with getting to the wet track, the dry track, similar to what I said earlier about Echo Gowlers. Not only does she go better on the dry, but she was unfit and racing on the dry as well too. And there was a little bit to like about her late the other day, I thought, Marty.
It's outstanding.
Well, if you can call, whacking away.
If you can call Ruddy less slow than the others.
Okay, well, she was going to run last.
Yes.
But do you remember her second race start? The day she was 7-4 at Rose Hill and Bring a Ring.
Yeah.
Peter, do you remember seeing her on the inside? She was dropping out, going to run last on the turn, and she just kept whacking away.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That is Marty. She is actually a one-pace thing.
Yeah, and then that's why she needs to
back
control.
in front. Yeah. Someone asked me on Sunday, is there any horse to follow out of the meeting? And the first thing I said, Marty to the mile lead.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, so you're betting.
Yeah, this is...
No, well, it's going to be the most spoken about horse in the history of the Punter Show.
Oh.
Marty.
Excellent.
Marty.
The only thing that's starting to scare me is everyone's kind of finding it as a default position, and when everyone runs on a default position, centre like second.
You can't have things all to yourself all the time, Aaron.
Yeah, no, I don't know.
Anyway.
Starting to look the bleeding obvious a little bit.
Yeah.
Which does become...
And the problem with the bleeding obvious there is that she's the bleeding obvious lone leader. Yeah. And that can see somebody like Nash try and do something. The worry is Joshua Parr on a leader that's favourite. It's
icky.
Okay, so if T Berry was on this horse, what would you be saying, Dal?
The worry is T Berry on this horse.
He's like, Dal's like the Woody doll, there's a snake in my boot.
I would have preferred Surge.
Yeah. Look, that is all right. I mean, we know Josh is a good rider to back when he's not doesn't have any pressure on him. But a leader favourite,
as well.
yeah, a leader favourite has plenty of pressure. So
Right.
yeah.
Okay. Well,
things can go wrong for Josh.
I took
under
the
those
sword to
circumstances.
Darcy Magic.
Yeah.
I suspect the Hollywood bound is over, but I mean, it's possibly a brave thing to say. And Forget comes to the mile as let's not run him at a mile now. It's like he's never really shaped as a miler. He's been a sit and sprint.
Does the fact that it looks like a slow pace, so that helps him with the mile?
But he's come out of fast
run races, and he's done it that way with Blake.
Yeah.
It's been Blake winning as much as Forget's won, hasn't it?
Yeah. See, I think fairly talent free, but Richard I has been doing something more in keeping with, you will admit he's lacking in ability, but he's better primed.
Yeah.
So anyway, look, as I say, I'm
What did you make of My Dream?
well, apart from the fact that I will oppose everything out of that race last start till I'm blue in the face. That's basically what I think about My Dream. I can see where, it's 10-day backup, it's a mile. She was deep throughout the other day.
And kept finding and really hit the line.
Yeah, but NASCAR won the race.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm letting everyone coming back those NASCAR horses with me in the last race.
Yeah. Did you not hear that he said he's going to oppose everything out of that race? Yeah. Yeah.
But I mean,
I'm getting an understanding of it.
Did you so that means he didn't really have a great opinion of the race. Just do write it down, Mark.
It's all right. It's all right. I've pretty much stated my case.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Orion Love improved a lot last start. Improved a lot in the yard. Paraded very big first up. It can get the little sucky run too, and will be better on the dry track.
Yeah, I've got no feeling for. I mean, I don't have a proper handle on the horse, so maybe you have a better handle.
I just thought, just looking at it in the yard, it did come on, and it will be better on the dry. But I just want to be on Marty.
It looked good last start.
Yeah, it did look good.
Paraded well, but it's not a horse of mine. And what are we saying about the Dan Jerk?
No.
Well, I'm not saying no, simply because he comes off a run that does resume at a mile. Surely that's
something. Yeah, I know.
He's unbeaten at Randwick.
Yeah,
he's 2 from 2 at Randwick.
He's had a nommed a few times as well, hasn't he?
Yeah, he starts shorter every time.
Every time he gets scratched.
Yeah, he's shorter than each week.
He's the Norton rule at wheel, but
that's the way that I'm looking at it. He can beat me. I don't like it. Never really. I don't think he's never really done much, and good luck to it.
No, except that he's got
he's
lightly raced and he's got some short SPs there, but obviously in a different land.
Just seems hollow to me. It just seems, I don't know. I've just never liked him. Anyway, I might be wrong. Have been before. All right, let's race.
As we all have.
Let's race 5.
But Aaron, we're still waiting for him.
Yeah,
to be wrong.
Marty. Race 6. The feature of the day is the Missile Stakes over 1,200 metres, and Weary $4.80. Messine is the short favourite at $3. And Temple of Boom $5.50, Bibiro $7, with Lord Leofric the same plot.
Well, Lord Leofric's never been seen on a Saturday, and then he decides to. Well, I mean, I suppose his ace is that
he's playing for the Keep It To Yourself award this week.
Yes, that's right.
Going from a very low rater to.
That's right.
Out of the park.
Just on this. David Pfeiffer, I thought he was doing an outstanding job with this horse because I thought it was a horse that would progress to Saturday grade, maybe further. He stole 3 Wednesday races, and I thought, how good has he done this? Most trainers go from Wednesday to Saturday. And then instead of just going to the progression of the Saturday race, now he's just said, no, we'll go to weight for 8. So if it runs 3rd, I'm going to be outweighted in the
if he runs Saturday 3rd, he's gone. Yeah. The worst thing possible for that horse is to run 3rd on Saturday. Yeah.
It just seems even if it wins the race,
what's actually in it for him?
Nothing. He's just completely.
Well, the first prize money of 100, I suppose.
So you can't it's. Oh, okay. Yeah. They run for prize money, do they, trainers?
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, a stakes race, It's a group. Oh my God, it's a Group 2 race.
It's the Missile Stakes now. Come on.
Wow, there you go. It's a Group 2
his
race.
His rating's going to go through the roof if he just runs well.
Yeah, it's a Group 2 race. Anyway, all right. Let them worry about their ratings. Mark, who leads them up? Our old mate Zaratone. Zaratone resumes his position as leader on Saturday.
That's right. So Zaratone looks to be stalked by Messine. I'm not sure how far they'll be able to drag Lord Randwick back from that draw because he's a horse with some pace, but they would like to ride him quietly. Temple of Boom seems to sit on the speed. He seems to be quite revved. Liberty's Choice back from 1400, I couldn't imagine it being that close.
Yeah.
And the others are, Omen is resuming without blinkers, so he's going to settle off the speed. Certainly See the World Babira Unweary off the speed. So I would think that, well, the way I read the race was that Messine takes care of Zaratone, or that's the idea, and Temple of Boom hopes to have the last shot at Messine.
Yep,
With Weary hoping to have the last shot of the pair of them.
All right, well, it's a yard race, Aaron, really, as it usually is the Missile Stakes, and just going through what the yard is. Weary is sometimes the parade's really big, sometimes the parade's revved up, so we'll see tomorrow what it is.
Short break, 91 days.
91 days.
That's the Matt Taylor break.
That's the Matt Taylor quiet trial, all that sort of business. Yeah, but you'll know with Weary whether he's right to go or not because it's shown in the yard.
Is he just better at Rose Hill because he's a bit of a pull?
Yeah, with the middle race bloods, yeah, it could well be. It's a fair call.
That's like when I first did the race, I had him on top, and then I ended up having him like 4th or 5th kick.
Okay, that's a very good angle. Well, okay, what's he done at Randwick? Really nothing.
And he's better on.
Oh, he's
softer,
better cut.
I think he's better on softer ground.
Yeah, that's for sure. Now, Messine Aaron, first up for a year almost. Never before has been rev first up, so I wouldn't expect to see him anything other than above himself first up with a year off.
I don't think he'll be too fat in the factors. I don't want him too fat because I don't want him to get injured either.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, I'm saying above. He won't. I wouldn't expect. Put it this way, I wouldn't expect to see him any fitter than he's been first up previously.
Yeah.
Is that a fair call?
Yeah.
Temple of Boom looks rev, doesn't it? Only 50 days off 2 trials.
Yes and no.
And what do you mean?
Well, his first trial, I think, was horrendous because he was so fat.
Yeah.
So, yes, he's improved from his second trial, but I don't think, from how bad he was in his first trial, he couldn't be revved right up. Like, right up.
And from the yard, Babiro had plenty of improvements into second up too. Blinkers on.
Oh, huge improvement.
Now wait for age horse.
Yeah, exactly. A Group 2 horse apparently.
It's a Lord Leofric's
Yeah. Anyway, Mark, what horse do you want to talk about first?
Well, Temple of Boom.
Yeah.
He's got that scuzzy winning record of 1 win in 3 years. 1 win since his Galaxy win of 2012.
Wow.
3.5 years almost. But I mean, he does come off an astonishing looking run in the Stradbroke where he jumped out, like he bounded out, he posied up, he said, I'm a good horse. So he wasn't playing the role of the loiterer.
No, he's flying. He was flying. Yeah.
And short break, 2 trials.
He looks like the horse that's just prepared himself into almost being a moral. I thought, like he's more of the sprinting type than most of them. He looks like he's revved up, and he's
and he's only 9 years old.
Yeah, he's only 9. Yeah, I'll pretend he's 8 just to get my head right.
But Zaratone's only 10.
Yeah. I'm happy for Tony to say 10, so you just forget about him. But anyway, Temple of Boom. So ticks from us, and what, you've seen the trials?
No, I couldn't find it.
You couldn't find it? Okay, cool.
So what do you want to find, Aaron?
Brace yourself.
Huh?
Just brace yourself.
Lord Leofric.
See the world.
See the world, blinkers on, okay, cool. Has he been going, I know he gets the blinkers on, but has he been going good enough?
Yes. I liked his last run, it was just out the back. It's just a typical horse that doesn't race. All he does is goes back, works to the line, and I love the way he went to the line at the start. And one thing with Joe Pride, he is very particular when he puts him on, and I think for the last 2 or 3 starts, we said when he's putting these blinkers on his horse.
Yeah.
He's obviously set it for one last race. The horse goes good, and Randwick 1200.
He's a great lane finder. See the world.
Yeah, and I think the 1400 back to 1200s idea is rock hard fit, where these horses aren't going to be other than Zaratone.
Okay.
The other horse I didn't mind was Liberty Choice.
Yeah, what's the plan there? Of course, he's got that stellar winning record of 1 from 20, the 1 win being Canterbury Maiden. Beating Senior Council. Good. Who knew?
Yes, there you go. It's a name I didn't ever think I'd hear.
Well, he was a horse that actually looked quite forward first up, if you recall.
Yeah, he was. He was
well.
as forward as any of Gay's horses have been in the last bit.
But he still looked like to have good improvement, and I think I like him. I liked his run. I like the way he boxed on. And I think getting back to a drier track will suit him majorly.
Okay, what do you say about Weary, Mark?
Well, I respect him without necessarily wanting to back him. I'm not pouring scorn on him because I think he's quite well set up for this race, and obviously, you know, I'm a little bit tentative about finding the horses from the low draws.
The low draws, and Messine is one of those.
Yes, as is Temple of Boom. So
yeah.
you know.
And what are you saying about Messine?
If we may recall that this was always the horse that didn't go down south.
Yeah.
You know, like he was the unbeaten in Sydney horse.
Yeah.
Until he struck that Richard Doncaster.
Yeah.
So, you know, whilst it's not ideal resuming from such a lengthy spell, he's still he's got the race. He's got this race to win. So, you know, I consider him in the finish. I've made the case for Temple of Boom, and there's one other thing I'd like to say. And we pretty much tipped every horse in the race. Omen did some really good things last preparation.
Yeah.
Queen Elizabeth run was really good. The run where Barbero beat him at the 1500 at Rosehill was really good, and the It's Somewhat run was really good. So I mean, you know, I realise that he's an ancient horse that
He seems to run well fresh. If he had the blinkers on, he'd be having something on him at the big price. Just the blinkers coming off scares me. I think they might be looking for a second up, 1400 bowl along in front. I just think with Messine, I think it's the best horse in the race, no risk.
Yeah,
if they don't go too hard and he can just sit there, he can kind of just win. But if they really test him out, he might be looking just for a little bit of oxygen.
Yeah, if it was just a case of best versus best, I'd have him winning. But it's not. It's a horse race, and he's first up. So
well, that's the beauty of it, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
What are you saying about Berbero?
I shouldn't make an opinion on it because I've got him wrong all of my life, all of his life. I've got wrong. So
you're against him? If you're
I'm
against him,
I'm just whatever.
I'd suggest that Byrne is keen.
Yeah.
Blinkers back on.
Yeah, blinkers.
You know,
on.
well, just
who's actually riding it?
Rory Hutchings.
Rory's riding it, is he? Okay.
Yeah,
It
because
was
you know.
Tim Clark, but they wouldn't allow.
No, they don't allow. You had to replace apprentice with apprentice. That's the rules. That's fine. Go on. I was a bit perplexed by it, but they're the rules.
Yeah, but hang on, why was he putting Brady Loy on it? Like, honestly, Byrne.
Yeah. But then again, there was a
Brady-
lot of boys unavailable this weekend, man.
Yeah. You're not taking that in.
What? Sorry, Tim Clark was already available. As far
Yeah,
as
well,
I
that's
know.
right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
hello. You wanted Tim Clark. but
Yeah.
You had the opportunity to have Tim Clark in the first place.
The owners may have put in Brady on to bad luck with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
They
suppose
do
so.
have an opinion.
Anyway, but to answer your question, Babira, I
There's
thought
nothing like the sentiment in this game.
no, exactly. I thought it went well first up, but it's a horse I have not been able to get a
I
handle on
seem to have
whatsoever.
found the three blinker horses in this race. Blinkers again that have had the run.
Beautiful. Anyway,
Like me.
I'm Temple Boom. Anyone?
Well, I'm not betting in the race, but I think I've stated where my sympathies lie.
Lovely, cool.
Right.
Race.
See the world, Liberty Choice and Bavero.
And Aaron's gone the hero route.
What's that? Yeah.
Aaron's gone the hero route.
All right, lovely. Race 7 is what is it? Over it's 1,000 metres, and
Because we must have 1,000-metre race.
it's a 1,000 metre race at Randwick. Darcy Wood's $2.70 and Fave Boss Lane $6.50. These prices will be slightly adjusted because Grand Condor has come out this morning, who was also $6.50. Mark, we have Sweet Serendipity, Plateau Gold, Straturbo, and Cosmic Cameo leading.
And we don't have Dal.
No, we don't. No. Carry on. Talk about a horse.
Shall we start with the favourite, Darcy?
Yeah.
Start with the favourite, Darcy Wood.
Yeah,
Thanks,
we
Dal.
said that. Thanks, Dal.
It comes off a course and distance win dominant.
Yes. And,
All right.
you know, it's hard to see it not being heavily tried.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, it's 7 to 4, I suppose. Just use the market. Back or lay 7 to 4.
At 7 to 4 back.
I'm back for sure. Yeah.
But I suspect it'll be a bit shorter than that.
Yeah, I marked it 5 to 4 and thought it was very hard to beat. It seemed to do. It's always had a feel that it could be a good horse, Mark, or something about it, and it's got that big finish. And if
Yeah, I know, and it's another 28 days. He's lucked in there
Yeah.
because he's ended
Perfect.
up with the Randwick meeting being 4
Perfect.
weeks apart. Look,
To
he's
get
now
you fresh enough.
he's now determined this much spruiked as a youngster horse that he's fresh and ridden cold. And,
Yeah,
it's hard to argue with it.
Yeah, 9 horses is good for that too.
The only thing is
Less
that these horses that have to round them up are they're not gilt-edged betting propositions.
No, things go wrong.
Yeah, things go wrong.
Could he maybe have enjoyed the heavy track at all?
I think that's why I like him, is because I think he's better on the dry. That's in my opinion.
Yeah.
But I mean, Aaron has there's some credibility in that statement because he did appear to relish it.
Yeah.
Well, and he is bred there. Like, might have just flattered him a little bit. But I liked him going into the race. I found him.
And he found the line.
Bet up.
And he found the line.
Well, we should have been doing a preview show that day.
Yeah,
Should have been doing it. We just trialled so well. He looked like he returned as that horse, as Dallas said. He was a horse who showed his possibly have ability, and he kind of looked to return that way.
I know.
Oh,
we all sat there going, "Oh, heavy track first up," didn't we?
Yeah, and then we saw what happened. Here come the orange colours. So I think we're all giving Darcy Wood the tick of approval, aren't we?
Yes.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, well, let's probably go to a horse we might not be giving a tick of approval to, Boss Lane. What's it doing in the 1,000 metre race?
He didn't want to run him in the 79 out of 1,200.
I don't know.
Which I assume started as benchmark 80. I don't know.
Anyway.
But I mean, I don't want to say absolutely not.
I was going to say it absolutely not.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Yeah, I'd Boss Lane. Yeah.
I can't.
Okay, well, what is absolutely not from Boss Lane? You know, as I say, I'm saying that we don't know about 1,000, 1,100 Boss Lane at this point because.
Actually, making bold predictions at 1,000 can bite you in the arse pretty quickly too. But I
just thought
put it this way,
at his current price. No way.
Yeah,
Hell.
Boss Lane.
What is this
$7?
$6.50.
Where is the blow?
Put it this way, Boss Lane wins the race, I lose on the race, simple as that.
Yep, okay. What else is there to talk about?
Plateau Gold,
Why?
1,000 metre horse. It's run to a good prior the 2 runs ago.
Surely there's no excuse for Grafton. Like he had the run back, he was wet to dry, he had a trial in the meantime at Casino.
They went exceedingly fast and it was 3 wide with that cover.
Yeah, and he's run last of 12, beaten 11 and a half lengths.
But he was going fast, 3 wide, with that outside lead fast.
All right, so you're saying coming to Randwick is of some assistance.
He's 50 to 1, and if you look at if you go back to his last Randwick run, he ran third to Tahitian Black and the Pfeiffer horse. Well, no, the Pfeiffer horse, I'd find the Pfeiffer horse. Inside job.
Inside job.
All right.
I think inside job would be in the market in this race.
Oh, I think what you're saying there is you're making cases for what we're talking about, horses that are the next line that really have nothing to offer, and you know there's a
they do have something to offer. They do have something to offer in the sense that they're there to block horses coming from behind them. You know,
I mean offering life. I'm talking about as in a quality of life. They've got nothing to offer them. It's a midweek race, and Darcy Wood's probably a better horse than a midweek horse.
But I think there'll be stuff tried here because we're looking at a wet to dry situation. You know, things like Straturbo and felines, and you know, and Aaron's made some sort of case for Plateau Gold. It's like there is an excuse to make excuses for horses in this race.
Yeah. No, I get that absolutely. Anyway, anything else to add? What are your second and thirds?
No, I mean, you know, if things go Darcy Wood's way, then there's no betting, is there?
No, that's what I would have thought. Anyway, beautiful. We move to the last race. Would you
What about felines, sorry?
It
is a 1,000 metre horse.
I know she's a limited 1,000 metre horse, but she's sort of there to steal. She's there to pick up the crumbs, to sort of steal something because she seems to be properly placed. She seems to be in a better position than the last run.
Yeah.
Obviously a firmer track, 1,000 metres. I can make a case for her, except for the fact that I think she's overrated. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, lovely, perfect. All right, moving along now. Remember the two big things for the weekend are the Steve Fletcher $20. Get his $20 weekly service, and you will get a free $99 service for Sydney and Melbourne on Saturday. And of course, the race speed profiles are back this week for Sydney and for Melbourne. So keep an eye on that, and all of our products are all around Australia, including all the One to Follow ones, all the John McLeod, etc., etc. Very, very good. And the site is starting to look even better week in, week out, isn't it?
It's improving.
Mm-hmm.
It's good.
It's
Getting
the
a lot of
weather.
attention, isn't it?
Check around. Lots of features, lots of little news snippets, little angles from lots of little things all throughout the week. And so where you really didn't have anything apart from a show on a Monday and a show on a Friday, you've got stuff pretty much every day now. So keep an eye at it. It's pretty good. We're enjoying bringing it to you anyway. The last race.
Well, clearly you are, because I mean, Dal, did you read Dallas's scratchings?
The scratching thing?
Well, the news article.
Editorial.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, editorial, but it
Yes.
presented in newspaper font.
Yes.
And Dal clearly enjoyed writing that article. He had a lot to say about the matter.
You like the idea of stonings and public floggings?
Oh, the whole thing was great.
Thank you.
You know,
Should have got a quote from Para.
He might be the feature of next week's editorial. Anyway, the last is Sweetfire and Chastened are fighting it out for favouritism around about the $4.60, $4.80 mark. Amazon $6, $6.50, and the next one in the market is Miss Hufflepuff about $8.
I'm excited.
Yeah, I know you would be. This is the race for you. This is not a race for me. But who leads them up, Mark?
Favourite, so.
Doesn't look a lot of pace here. So what is it, Miss Hufflepuff leading it?
Well, firstly, it's at 1800, so it is short run of the first
good
turn,
point.
which does aid Miss Hufflepuff in gate one. But I mean, I'd suggest the Queen of Sheba will be quite positive.
Yeah.
She's on the quick back up from 1400 metres at a distance that, and with Jess Taylor, who's been the go-shoe girl of the week, hasn't she?
Yeah.
So I'd suggest she'll be quite positive. Not sure what Jay Collett plans to do on Chastened, who can be positive but can be negative. I'd suggest that Garnon and Anther will be forward, and Amazon will use her draw to be handy.
Yeah, and up 500 metres in distance.
Sweetfire settling in a handy-ish position, just off pace. I mentioned earlier that I was quite keen to be against the NASCAR form. Well, principally because the numbers appeared to be wretched in the race.
Yeah.
The circumstances of the race appeared to be wretched, with Glynn trying to put romantic time into a lot of rump stake and still looking like he should have perhaps won the race with something to spare.
Yeah. Okay.
And the fact that Justice Cosmic in the Warwick Farm race the week before couldn't keep up and suddenly was a factor, albeit with Kathy off the week later. So that led me to presume that Sweetfire is a favourite to be opposed.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Well, I'm disagreeing in that, in the sense that she needed the run still. She came back fat like Marty.
Yeah.
And I think she should have won the race in that race. And I'm glad she didn't, because I would have been upset.
I was on it.
I looked at her in that race and just said, if you win today, it's almost by accident that you're just beating a lesser field, and you'll improve a hell of a lot off this run.
So I want to take you back to was it April 1 in the race that Sam Kavanagh won? Was it Sam Kavanagh training then?
April, right?
Won't be
Yeah,
training
Spinning
April.
Diamond, yeah.
Spinning Diamond?
Yes, you go back.
Spinning Diamond.
That was the race that she should have won if she stayed to the inside.
Who?
Sweetfire.
But I
In
mean,
my
she did have
opinion.
Jay McDonald on that day, and
And he completely butchered it, and he got off and said, I can't believe I rode this horse this way.
Okay.
Because that was the day where everyone thought it'd be off the fence, and they overrode it, and she sat out in the crap.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough. Okay. Anything else you want to say while you have the floor?
Yeah. Okay. So Sweetfire, you're saying oppose. You're saying no.
I'm saying, yeah, it's got a big good chance. And what do we do? Can we take it to Amazon next?
Yeah, we can. Well, as I mentioned, the key to it is the 550 plus, 21 days in between runs. But it was sort of the horse that I thought I could gravitate to, but then couldn't with that setup. But Mark, I've noticed you gravitated towards it.
Well, I was intrigued by how much interest there was in her last start. Remember us talking about
Yep.
it. There seemed to be an enormous amount of interest in her, given that she struggled to get into the race, in my opinion. And this is a race where she puts herself in the race. Now, obviously, those factors you've mentioned may count against her in the end, but she seems to be potent here. So I certainly gave her a good Guernsey. Miss Hufflepuff, I want to make mention of. We've already spoken about Slivovich at Newcastle, and Miss Hufflepuff was burnt by the early efforts of A. Hieronymus to get her to the lead. So I thought she was a better run than it looked. And I've already mentioned Queen of Sheba, who is a relatively limited mare, but I mean it's obviously a limited race.
Indeed.
But she seems a bit primed and a bit positive here. So I've said all I want to say.
I've said all I want to say.
I like
It's nothing.
Amazon.
Yeah.
I said to you straight after the run, it was the horse that I just had to be on next start if it found the dry track. Because I loved its run. I thought its run.
Yeah,
her wheels were spinning and she was just trying and trying and trying.
She was in the wrong place.
It was just, it was awful, yeah. And I thought it was a complete drop back in grade. I thought, going up to 1800, I thought might be a little bit scary, but they'll probably race a lot slower than they would if it was a mile. Yeah. So it's almost like, I think it kind of counteracts.
Yeah, that's fair.
That was my interesting thought on that. And the other horse I liked was, I thought Chastened.
Well, Chastened appears to be the form horse in the race. I mean, that her last start appears to be the best run.
Well, I thought Amazon was the best run, but yeah, it's second. I see your point.
But I mean, I can see Chastened not being in a position to challenge here, whereas I suppose I'm saying that Chastened has to be on her game, whereas the others might cheat a bit.
Yeah, okay.
Anything for Maeve now?
Not for me, but I mean...
You're just replacing that form.
Yeah, I said I don't like that.
Fair enough. Cool. Well, anyway, I didn't like the race, so I'm saying nothing, but you two seem to have a nice feel for it.
I think so. I like Amazon. I think getting back to Randwick, so go. I think a few of Les Bridges' horses are starting to just look bright.
Surely Les is in this fan of surely he fits into those
the unfashionable trainers getting back. Yeah.
But I think it's just, I don't know. I think you could be right. It could be a Cobalt thing. I think it's this stage in the year where they all seem to try and get their horses fit right to knock off these races before the good trainers get their good horses right.
No, fair enough. Fair enough. Anyway, you're right. Amazon, go Les.
Go Leslie. She did, of course, win 3 races in a row. One of those, one of those mares that you just shake your head about when you find and she doesn't produce because.
You said that she did win 3 races in a row. All right, boys. Well, thank you very much. Mark will be back with a Punter Show on Monday, and lots of products, lots of stuff around the site. Keep checking it out. Any feedback, send it in too. And emails for the Punter Show. We keep asking for them, but. Video killed the radio star. Twitter killed the email writer, I think. So yeah.
Oh, it sure did.
Yeah. Anyway.
Sweet now, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Good long bag. Anyway, well, thanks for watching. Hope you have a winning Saturday, and as we get back into the spring, good luck.